has a reputation for being peaceful and inclusive. While comparatively, that claim is not inaccurate, it's not entirely true. Just off the top of my head, I can think of all of the Native women and children that are ignored by authorities when they disappear and are either investigated inadequately or not at all. Alberta is considered one of our prairie provinces, which is very similar to a state, but ours are a little bit more connected to the federal government level, and the province is given different kind of rights. Alberta has a very special reputation for being the Texas of Canada. And that's probably because of its Calgary Stampede and its way of having people who play country music. Though, full disclosure, even though one of my best friends on the face of this planet is from Alberta, I've only ever flown through it, and I can't really speak to it otherwise. A new law is trying to be passed in Alberta, Bill 10. Let's watch this wonderful clip of a concerned mother and tear it apart.
What's all the fuss over transgender washrooms we discuss? Is this really such the issue to focus and put our taxes to?
Let's tear this clip apart and the misleading yet well-written website that accompanies. I'd like to start at the end, where the mom directs you towards this website of family values.
If you like the message of the song, please pass it on. If you want to find out how to say no to Bill 10, visit FamilyShouldKnow.com. Thanks for listening, and seize the day. Come on, what's all the fuss over transgender washrooms we discuss? Is this really such the issue to focus and put our taxes to?
Bill 10 essentially outlines a list of guidelines that allows LGBT students to be protected under the law. Under the new Alberta legislation, Bill 10 essentially outlines guidelines for protecting LGBT students in schools. This isn't limited entirely to the issue of allowing them to use the bathrooms affiliated with their gender identity, which MH Wiebe is very strongly against in this gender bender video, but also protects the formation of gay-straight alliances in schools.
Can we focus rather on educating rather than mere facilitating? We should stop and calculate the costs while teachers' jobs take cuts and loss.
The website is broken down into 5 main categories of objection: imposed illegality, child safety, school liability and autonomy, parental rights, and balanced human rights. The first issue that MH Wiebe brings up is the issue of school liability and autonomy. Here, a bunch of absolute nonsense is brought up, like a parent's rights to direct a child to think that they're otherwise than thinking that they're trans, which we'll discuss in another section concerning parental rights. But essentially, this section claims that, and I quote, "The guidelines expose the school board, individual schools, educators, and coaches to legal liabilities when students are injured as a result of mixing genders in sports teams." So what I think they're essentially saying is that if you have a transgendered person, let's say they are genetically a boy, but actually identify as a girl and are slightly larger than the other kids, they injure the other kids, and then the school opens themselves up to liability. Though all I can think of is when I, a 5-foot-tall person, was in grade 6, I was the tallest person in my class. You have a variety of heights and sizes in every classroom, regardless of gender or sex or age. This claim is absolute garbage.
Are there 6, perhaps 13 in essence, children in Alberta who switch gender pretense.
Although only a tiny percent of Canadians and Americans identify as trans, it doesn't matter, because our job as good citizens of the universe is to protect minorities.
No, this is not the issue to legislate or to pursue.
This section is the most ridiculous of them all, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. In essence, it comes down to this law might violate the statistical gathering abilities of the province on gender statistics, so it shouldn't be allowed in the first place. At what point did we decide as a people that statistical gathering is more important than allowing people to truly identify as who they are?
Listen to what I say. The animal kingdom is smarter this way. The animals, they lead with more guile. Their offspring keep their gender in the wild. If we can't address male and female, we've lost our purpose. In life we fail. If our children lose their identity, this will be sad for our future, you see.
This section in essence boils down to a parent's right to direct their child to resources allowing them to believe that they're something other than trans. In essence, this section claims that guideline displaces parents' responsibilities and rights to influence or educate their children on essential gender-related matters. Meaning, don't encourage my kid to be who they are because I should teach them that at home. To her claim that she says this doesn't happen in the wild, I'd like to point out that Roy and Silo are very happy gay penguin parents. So you're full of shit.
My heart goes to the fatherless and abused. I guess that's why we have some confused. I am a concerned mother of 3. Keep male and female washrooms where our children can pee.
I've lumped child safety and human rights into the same section for many reasons, and mainly because a lot of them overlap. One is that parents are claiming here that they have the right to be included in the process that exposes their children to matters of gender. I agree. Teach your kids that transgendered and LGBT folk are people. If you're not capable of not being a moron, the school system will bring your child into the 21st century for you. To keep your children from learning about what it's like to live in the 21st century is an imbalance of their human rights. See the logic? In points 1, 2, and 3 down here, my response is that only children that identify with the gender that they are will be allowed in these bathrooms. Only children that identify as boys will be allowed in the boys' bathroom. Only children who identify as girls will be allowed in the girls' bathroom. Just chill. Teachers aren't allowing sexual predators on school grounds, let alone in the school or in your children's bathroom. For the final point in this child safety, I'd like to point you to minute 4 and 35 seconds of this video. And lastly, for points 1 and 2 in the human rights section, I'd like to point out that LGBT and minority rights don't violate your own rights, so I call absolute bullshit.
Stand up, children of grace, speak up and take your rightful place. Mothers and fathers, the backbone of society. Why would we change legislation over notoriety? If we change the legislation in a generation, will result in anger, pain, frustration. Why would we make life so great? Please, citizens, let's seize the day.
I guess I have to take solace in the fact that she's an absolute nobody.
Seize the day. Seize the day.